Welcome, Toastmasters and those that are online. I'd like to start out by asking you a question. How many, by raise of hand, have heard of the Knights of Columbus? Quite a few of you. How many of you actually know what we do? Even less. That's because most of us only know certain parts of the Knights of Columbus. You might know us by the big chapeau hats with the ostrich plumes that lead the parades or other civic organizations. You might know us as the beer-slinging people over at the street festivals. You might know us as the people who march and tell women that what to do with their bodies and what not to do with their bodies because the Knights are against abortion. You might even have other ideas. But let me tell you what the Knights are really all about. The Knights were brought about in 1882 as a means to support orphans and widows. Back in those days, men ran the family. They had the job of providing. However, when the men died, women had no way of having any type of support and therefore struggled. Because they struggled, and women are more likely to feed their children before themselves, quite often they died as well, and their children were left as orphans. The Knights decided that this was not acceptable. So what they did is they created a life insurance policy so that when the men died, the wives and the children would both be covered. Today, we have had dynamic growth, and we have over 2 million Knights of Columbus members throughout the world. That's quite an accomplishment. Now, let me tell you about the 4 tenets of the Knights of Columbus. Our first one is charity. It's underneath the 3rd degree, which is shown by my jacket here, which is one of the things you will see me wearing when I'm not in my normal uniform. How are we charitable? Well, first of all, we support our women. If we're going to call our women to carry their children to term, whether they keep it for themselves or send it off for adoption, we need to support them on the other half of that. 2 weeks ago, over here at St. Pius in Buena Park, we raised $9,000 for women's charities to help with pregnancy. At my local parish in Anaheim, we raised $6,600 and 4,000 pounds of coin for that very same purpose. We have 4 mobile ultrasound units, which allows a woman to hear the birth, hear the heartbeat of their baby before it's ever born. We provide the diapers, the baby bottles, other services that will allow our women to be able to carry their baby to term and then be able to support it afterwards. This weekend, we are supporting another charity. We are raising money for our intellectual disability adults. This weekend, our money that we raise will go to Special Olympics, which allows our adults with disabilities to come out to associate with other people of the same disability in baseball, football, soccer, and many of the other sports that we ourselves have in our Olympics. The other money is going to Camp Recreation. Camp Recreation gives our caregivers a break. We take our developmentally disabled adults and we provide them with a week-long retreat, which gives our carebreakers a chance to relax, go out on a date, have a dinner with their spouse. Because as many of you know, as much disabilities as our disabled adults have, the caregivers also have their own struggles with that as well. The second thing we do is unity. How are we unified? One of the tenets that we work with as a Knight of Columbus is to bring our fathers in as the founder and the leader of the faith community. We want our fathers to be bringing their wives and their children to church. How wonderful is it to see a father, mother, children all together worshiping together. We teach our fathers how to be better fathers, how to love their wives better, how to invoke themselves in prayer. We also support our seminarians. Our seminarians that will be the next leaders in the faith community. The third thing we do is called fraternity. Fraternity is not like the colleges. We don't go out drinking beer, partying, wild women, etc. What we do for fraternity is we do baseball games. In the next month, we will be starting practice to play against the American Legion as a softball team. Additionally, we sit together at meals and have meals together every fifth Sunday. We gather together at night and have meals together. Sometimes we play cards, we play poker, we go out drinking, we go out to the carnivals, and we have a lot of fun. The last episode is for the fourth degree, which is our patriotism degree, which is shown by the emblem on my shirt here. Another thing I wear quite often when I'm not at Toastmasters. The fourth degree is about patriotism. Wherever there is in a world an emergency, a crisis, a need, our Knights are the first responders to that. We go out, we assist our guests, and we work with them to get them back to where they started. I thank you for your time and your effort. Just please remember that the Knights of Columbus are already in a city and a parish near you. Thank you, worthy Toastmasters.